Hello, today I'm sharing the best high-end makeup I tried in 2023. These are the high-end makeup products that stood out to me the most out of everything I tried last year, and I tried some really great makeup last year. So if you don't hear me mention something I previously said I loved, doesn't mean I don't still love those products. I just can't fit everything I love in this one video. I have to be very cutthroat in these end-of-year favorites videos, and I'm sure you can probably hear in my voice I'm a bit under the weather. I don't feel like I sound or look like myself. So we're gonna power through this video together. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, and let's get into these high-end makeup favorites that I think are the best of the best new products or new to me products that I tried in 2023. I just did my top drugstore favorites from 2023. If you haven't seen it, I'll have it linked up in a card as well as in my description box so you can check it out after you finish this video, along with the other end of year favorites I've already done. There are some fun ones you can check out if you haven't seen them yet. The next one will be my top 10 luxury favorites. If you're not seeing luxury brands in this video, they will be in my next one. I'm going to start with complexion products as I usually do, beginning with this foundation. This is the KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation. Now the clips you're going to see are using a shade that is much lighter than the one I'm holding. I liked this foundation so much I did go back and get a shade that worked better for me. I'm always stunned at the coverage I get from this foundation and how natural it looks. A little bit of this goes a long way. I can't emphasize this enough. I recommend applying this the same way I recommend applying Estee Lauder Double Wear. I will have that video with my technique linked up in a card and down below in my description box. Application is key when it comes to foundations that give such full coverage and that set down pretty quickly. This is one where I recommend applying in very thin layers in sections and then assessing to see where you want to build it. This gives medium to full coverage. It blurs and smooths. It's just a flattering foundation that looks natural and gives a natural matte finish. And it wears beautifully throughout the day, even on the most hot, humid days. I have combination skin that's normally can be dry around the perimeter and can get shine and oil breakthrough in the center. And I think if you have normal to oily skin, you will love this foundation, but it's also worn well on the drier areas of my skin. It's just beautiful and reliable. It was a surprise hit for me last year. Fenty Eavesdrop Stick Foundation was another surprise hit for me because I don't really have luck with stick foundations. It glides onto my skin like butter. Now, I first thought that this shade was going to be too yellow, but I find the shade to be very forgiving. It blends in with my skin really nicely. It's creamy, smooth, and blurs my skin and just melts into my skin as I'm applying it. It perfects my skin while looking like skin. It feels very lightweight. The finish is pretty natural before setting. I think there are some people that probably don't even need to set this. After I set it, I get a demi matte finish and it just wears really well. Even on brutally hot, humid days, it just settles into this natural finish. And I may get some shine on those days, but it doesn't turn into an oily, greasy mess that just melts off my face the way some other stick foundations do. It doesn't break up on my face in a weird way or give me polka dot pores. This is one that I can't promise if you have very dry skin if you would love this, but for my skin type, and I would think normal skin, if you've had issues with other stick foundations, this might be one you want to look at. I just was so surprised at how well it worked for me. And I do also want to touch very quickly on the Fenty Pro Filter Foundation, which I was late to the game on in general. I have no idea why I never tried this, but I tried it late in 2023. It works beautifully on all areas of my combination skin. I would say it gives medium to medium full coverage. It looks natural and evens everything out, blurs and smooths. It's a very flexible foundation. I can get true medium coverage if I want. I can build it up and it keeps me pretty shine free and it lasts all day. It doesn't set quite as quickly as a KVD, but it lasts really, really well throughout the day. It's a great special event foundation that also looks really natural and wears really well. So I'm really glad that I tried this past year. Now I know why so many people love this foundation, especially with my skin type. I'm so picky with powder foundations, and when I tried the One Size Turn Up the Base Versatile Powder Foundation, I was just blown away. I love that I can use this as basically just a powder for light coverage using kind of a less dense brush, or I can use it as a full powder foundation for medium to full coverage using a more densely packed brush or even a sponge. It gives a nice soft matte finish. It doesn't look powdery. Very few powder foundations allow me to also use them as touch-up powder, and this one does. It gives a nice soft focused appearance to the skin, and it's very lightweight. This is a good one that's been living in my vanity. Because my under eyes are very dry and I have texture and fine lines that aren't improving with age, I'm very particular about what goes under my eyes, whether it's skincare or makeup. And I have two under eye products that impressed me more than any that I tried last year, and I tried a lot of correctors and concealers last year. The first is NARS Light Reflecting Under Eye Brightener. This is a makeup skincare hybrid that brightens and corrects all in one. This is very, very creamy and it blends out extremely easily. This first shade is called Night Swan. That's the lightest shade. I have light medium skin tone, and this is the shade I use if I really want brightening with my correcting. This second shade is called Golden Eye. So we have Night Swan and Golden Eye. As I'm getting closer to 50, I really appreciate having those added skincare ingredients in a product that I'm wearing all day long to help lock in that moisture and improve my skin barrier and skin elasticity. It's just a nice added bonus. A little bit goes a long way. I have an entire video I just recently did. I'll have it linked up in the corner as well as in my description box. You just dab a tiny bit right where you have discoloration and blend it out before you put on concealer. It looks natural and feels very lightweight and hydrating at the same time, and I can apply less concealer and everything looks just nice and seamless. There's a rumor that my favorite corrector I've been using for a long time, Bobbi Brown Stick Corrector, might be discontinued. I don't know for sure. I've kind of been in a panic about that, and I thought, what would I replace that with? And this came to mind immediately. This is really good. I don't think my concealer pick will be a surprise if you're a subscriber. This is the Tower 28 Swipe Right Hydrating Serum Concealer. This also has some really nice, nourishing, hydrating skincare ingredients in it. It's very creamy and easy and quick to blend out, and it's very lightweight. It feels good and hydrating, even wearing it all day long. Some concealers can really dry you out as you wear them during the day, and this one doesn't. And it gives nice coverage and yet looks nice and smoothing and natural. I test a lot of concealers, and what I found with many this past year is that they would claim to give a certain amount of coverage, and then when I tested them, they gave less. But this did the opposite. This claims to have medium coverage, but I find it gives medium to full coverage depending on how you apply it. If you apply just one layer, you can get medium coverage, but it layers over itself really well, so you can build up that coverage. If you apply a corrector under it, you also get more coverage than medium. It's pretty self-setting if you are someone that doesn't need to set your under eye concealer. It's a very flattering, creamy, hydrating concealer for me and my dry under eyes that I was incredibly impressed with in 2023. It's in my regular rotation, as are all of these products. Now, I mentioned Glow Recipe overall as a brand and some specific products in one of my other end of year favorites videos. It was either my most used Sephora products or skincare video, but I saved this product for this video since it is a makeup product. Those videos, if you missed them, are with the rest of my end of year videos in that playlist I mentioned at the beginning, linked up in a card and in my description box, and it will also be linked at the end of the video. So this is the Strawberry BHA Pore Smooth Blur Drops from Glow Recipe. This is a serum primer hybrid. It's got a really watery texture and absorbs into your skin really nicely, like a lotion. It doesn't sit on top of your skin at all. It's really lightweight. It's silicone free, and it's designed to refine your pores over time, while of course helping your makeup last longer, smooth your skin, and absorb shine. It also gives a nice soft focus finish, and I would say this is great great for all skin types. It feels very smooth. It gives a natural matte finish without making my face look or feel dry. It minimizes my pores and it keeps my face nice and balanced during the day. I don't get as shiny with it. I actually bought this as soon as it was launched because I couldn't wait to try it, and then I received it a couple of days later in PR. When that happens, I would normally give one away to a friend, but I like this so much I kept both because I wanted a backup. I knew I would use this up, and it is probably 2/3 gone. I will be getting into that backup fairly soon. This is a really, really nice primer that I enjoyed so much in 2023 and continue to enjoy. There are two setting sprays that stood out to me the most in 2023, which is kind of funny as someone who doesn't use a ton of setting sprays, but I did use these quite a bit. So the first is Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Matte Setting Spray, and the second is Cali Ray Surf Proof. Both have really nice, fine, even mists, and the Cali Ray in particular has some really nice ingredients that provide lightweight hydration as well as oil control, but it's not overly mattifying, which is why I think people across all skin types really like Cali Ray Surf Proof. It also has niacinamide to help support the skin barrier and minimize the appearance of pores. It never leaves my skin feeling tight or dry, even my normal dry areas around the perimeter of my face. It's a really nice alcohol-free setting spray that does a great job. The Milk Makeup setting spray is also alcohol-free. It has more of a wet spray to it, but it's still a nice even mist. And this is the one that I use when I really, really want to stay shine free. It keeps me from getting oily or greasy in my T-zone and keeps my makeup from sliding off my face when it otherwise would. If I'm going somewhere and there's going to be sweating or dancing involved, this is the setting spray that I've been reaching for. This is more of my bulletproof setting spray that also provides shine and oil control, but my face doesn't feel dry and tight, which is really nice, whereas this is more for every day. And they're both really nice, and I discovered them in 2023. I shared and loved tons of blushes in 2023, and I somehow narrowed it down to one of each type. Basically, let me know if I missed a type of blush, and also let me know if you tried and what your feelings are on any of the products I'm sharing today. I always love reading your comments. So my pick for powder blush are the Too Faced Cloud Crush blushes. These are just great, no fail blushes. I don't think you could mess these up if you tried. They build up beautifully. They never apply patchy. They're blurring and diffusing and so flattering. And they have a kind of a velvety finish, and I believe come in matte and satin finishes. So this shade is Velvet Crush and this is Golden Hour. And here we have Velvet Crush and Golden Hour. They're just so pretty. It doesn't matter what shade you get though. I just love this formula, and I mean the packaging is really cute too. If I need my makeup to look absolutely beautiful through the harshest of elements, this is the blush that I reach for. These are so stunning and they will last you from early morning until late at night and look absolutely perfect the entire time. This is more of a cream to powder formula that's very buildable. A little bit goes a long way. This is the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder Flushed Blush. When you first apply it, there's kind of a sheen to it that allows you to work with it, blend it out, and it gives you kind of a soft glowy look as you're blending it, and then it fully sets down. And when I say cream to powder, it doesn't leave you with a powdery look, it just looks natural. These are flattering, diffusing, airbrushing. If you're fair or light skinned, you can apply these very sheer, and if you have a dark skin tone, these shades will work beautifully for you. So we have Bellini, Jubilee, and Prima Donna. You can see how saturated they are in the pan, and this is what they look like swatched. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way, but these will last you all day, all night long. For a true cream blush in pan form that just gives you that nice lit from within glow, luminosity without glimmer, we have Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. I just really enjoyed this formula that he launched in 2023. This is the shade Rose Crush, which is swatched right here. And I'm just gonna kind of sheer this out, do it here so I can see it, just so you can kind of see the tone difference with the other blushes. It obviously sheers more than that. That's not how I'm wearing it on my cheek. It's got hyaluronic acid to plump and hydrate, and it gives a sheer buildable finish. This is another blush I don't think you can mess up. The end result just looks natural and beautiful on my skin. These are also really nice for layering if you want to wear a cream blush and then top it with a powder blush for longevity during the day. Because this formula has been around, we've talked about it before 2023, I'm going to keep this segment brief, but these two shades were new in 2023. So if you prefer your blush in stick form, Persona Dream Stick Cream Blush has two new shades that I fell in love with. We have Guava and Bloom that I've been reaching for a lot. So here's Bloom and here's Guava. If you like a creamy stick blush that doesn't remove everything you've already put on your face, these are beautiful. They have skin-loving ingredients in them. They apply and blend out like a dream, and they blur imperfections. Bloom is the shade that I'm wearing today. Actually, I know I look a little washed out from being sick and being under these lights, but it's such a natural, flattering shade. So I just wanted to give these a quick mention. I've always been way more into bronzing than I have been contouring. I actually stopped contouring altogether for a while until Milk Makeup released their new cream contour sticks earlier this year. I like the small compact size. These are very creamy and they blend out so easily. You have enough time to work with them before they set down, which is really important. These have a nice cool gray undertone, which is really important when you're talking about contouring products. You want a shadowy look versus a warm undertone, which is what you want from bronzer. And these have that cool gray undertone. The shade that I wear the most is called Stoked. And you know, sometimes when I'm feeling particularly jowly, a quick swipe of this, blend it out, is exactly what I need. Or if I'm going for more of a full glam look, I'll apply some in other areas, but this makes it quick and easy to apply it either under foundation or over. This was a nice launch that I really, really enjoyed in 2023. Now, this was not new in 2023, but I finally tried it last year. This is the Say Sun Melt Cream Bronzer, and the shade I have is light bronze. This is such an easy, no-fail cream bronzer. The texture is velvety smooth, and you know, when I first tried this, I thought it was going to be too creamy and oily, but it's really not. It just has that texture that allows you to work with it and blend it out, and it just leaves a nice natural finish. Because it's sheer, it's extremely buildable, and you can see how much warmer that is than the contour and how much more sheer it is, which means the end result is extremely natural, and that's really important to me as someone who likes my makeup to look natural on an everyday basis. I am so glad that I finally tried this. And the big bronzing brush, whatever the official name of this brush is, I love this, not just for buffing out this bronzer, but for other products too. And I'm just gonna go ahead and mention the Say foundation brush, which is kind of a mini version of this bronzer brush. I love both of these. They're soft and dense, kind of velvety. This goes with the foundation. This bigger, fatter one goes with the bronzer. But I've used these for powder foundation, for cream blush. I've used them for various other things. I love that they stand up for storage. They just apply products beautifully. So I wanted to mention those also because I discovered these last year, and they're also in regular rotation. I have several eye products to share with you, but only one eyeshadow palette. I decided to narrow it down to just one, which is Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. I think this is probably in a lot of people's favorites videos, but it's for good reason. This is just a really nice, multi-purpose, versatile, neutral eyeshadow palette. I can get everyday looks, I can get glam looks. It's just a really great palette that I reach for a lot. And it is what's on my eyes today. I used it for my shadow. I used it to line with. I love this deep brown. I reach for it quite a bit. And this shade here is the Soul shade that I have on my lids, just in a very sheer way. And I have these two shades in my crease in transition, and that's pretty much it. I barely warmed up my transition with a dab of this kind of peachy shade, but just barely. There are shades with more shimmer if I want to go glam, if I want to use this for a nighttime palette, and of course I can go more complicated if I want, but I love that I can go very simple and do a one and done look, or I can go more dressy. You know, if you're someone that likes a lot of color, this may not be the palette for you, but I'm a neutrals girl and I love it. These Merit Solo Shadows are very polarizing. People either love them or they really don't. I love them. These made a huge impression on me in 2023. I didn't realize how much I was going to use these on an everyday basis, particularly the shade Vachetta. So this is a sheer type of product that kind of evens out imperfections on my lids. A little bit goes a long way. I can dip my finger in and kind of tap, blend it out really quickly. These set really, really quickly. So you do want to work fast, one eye at a time, blend it out, then move to the other eye. Now, if you don't work fast enough, they will get patchy. I think that's where some of the complaints about this product come in, is that patchiness from not working quickly enough. I don't use an eyeshadow primer first, which kind of goes against everything I talk about here, because I always talk about how, especially on mature lids, you need to use an eyeshadow primer. There are a few products where that is not the case, and this is one of those products. This sets down and stays crease free, except on super humid days. I might get some creasing. If it's gonna be one of those days, I'll just tap on some very sheer translucent powder and that will take care of that. It's a very sheer thin formula that's quick to apply and it's flattering. It gives me a nice matte one and done look. This fits in with the Merit line very well. It's not gonna give you a full glam look. So for me, this has been a fantastic, easy, everyday, one and done eyeshadow product. I'm gonna mention the brush too, because I also love this little double-ended brush that they launched with it. I love that I can blend out the edges really quickly with this, and then I can also line with this other end with another shadow or blend out pencil liner with it. But I mean, I have 3 shades of these now because I just love this so much. Speaking of eyeliner, my most used eyeliner since it was launched in 2023 was hands down the Laura Mercier Caviar Tightline eyeliner. I was so excited when I saw this was going to be launched because Laura Mercier Caviar sticks have been a long time favorite of mine, and I thought, wow, in eyeliner form, that's going to be fantastic. And guess what? It has been. These glide on like a dream. I think I've said that at least 1 or 2 times in this video. This is the shade Blue Marine. I'll show you the shade Cocoa too, because I wear that a lot. That's a caviar stick shade that I used to line with all the time, as was Tuxedo. So I'll go ahead and show you Tuxedo, which is a black. I mean, they just glide on beautifully, meaning you can tight line with them or line your eyes however you like with them. They give you time to smudge them if you are an eyeliner smudger like I am before they set down, and they do set down and wear beautifully throughout the day. They don't tug at your delicate eye area and they wear beautifully. There are several shades to choose from. This was a great launch in 2023. I'm actually surprised it took her so long to come out with these. I know I've already shared some of my very, very favorite tinted lip balm, lip gloss, lipstick hybrid products in another yearly favorites video that you can catch at the end of this one. But I have another that I think has been largely overshadowed by other similar products, and I think it's because it was an earlier launch in 2023, but these are so great and they wear so well, and there are so many beautiful shades to choose from. So these are the NARS Afterglow Sensual Shine lipsticks. And the shade I had on before I started filming is Devotion. This is a shade I wear pretty often. It's kind of a deep, neutral, rosy pink brown, but it just felt a little bit deep to me, so I topped it off with Orgasm, and that is what I've had on. These have really nourishing, hydrating ingredients. They feel good and substantial, but they're not sticky. If the texture of the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips is a little too gloppy for you, a little too soft, you might really like these because these are a more solid product. I also really like the presentation of these. They're slim and compact. They conform to your lips nicely. Don't get me wrong, I still love my Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip line as a whole. I have a ton of them. I just wanted to show you a size comparison. So if you're wanting something a little smaller, a little slimmer for a smaller purse, something with a little bit more longevity that's not quite as soft, you may really like these. Okay, tell me one or two high-end makeup products that stood out to you the most in 2023 in the comments down below. I find some of my favorite products through you guys, so I can't wait to read those comments and see what you loved last year. And be sure to check out other yearly favorites in other categories in these videos here. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful in some way. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already so you don't miss any future uploads, including my top 10 luxury favorites and the worst products I tried in 2023. Save your money. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.